YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I have another pickups video for you here. Today I went down to the local flea market, which was right across from a Home Depot. I was actually going to get screws for putting up shelving in the retro dungeon, and that total mission was a success. But in the meantime, I also stopped by a flea market that was there. There's only one vendor at this particular flea market. It's an indoor one, obviously. It's winter here. But it's indoor flea market, and they just have booths set up, and every weekend these guys are here selling video games. They're also a store that's in the city that's right next to mine, and they come out here on the weekends to sell off some of the video games that they have, kind of thing, and they bring out some new stock every once in a while and things like that. So I stopped in there today, picked out these 6 items, put them on the counter. I'm like, hey man, what kind of deal can you do on these 6 games? And I sort of had in my mind that he was going to say something around, 50 or something like that, because, generally speaking, because they are a gaming store, their prices tend to, be a bit higher, eBay's type of prices, or even higher than that usually, but not in this case. And every time I go there, I seem to get a better deal than what I'm thinking I'm going to get. So it turned out pretty well here. So like I was saying though, I had in my head kind of offering him 35, and I sort of thought that he was going to say 50, and he actually came back when I said, what kind of deal can you do on this? And he said 30. I was like, all right, and I'll go for that, because that was totally fine by me. I'll show you what I got though, these 6 items. The first one that I picked up actually is a sports title, but I thought it was interesting and it's in pretty good shape. It's for the Sega Genesis. It's not exactly something I'm interested in playing necessarily. It's just that the cartridge itself is kind of interesting shaped, so I thought I would pick it up. And it's by Accolade. It's Hardball 3. And it's in really decent shape, so I thought I'd pick it up. It's just a weird kind of cartridge, like it's shaped a little bit differently than other Genesis cartridges, so I thought I would pick it up, and it's in decent shape. The next game that I picked up is an NES title that I didn't have in my collection already, and it's in pretty relatively good shape, so I thought I would add it in. It's one of the black box type titles. It's baseball. You can see it's really in decent shape. There's some like minor scratches and stuff like that on the label, but nothing like no deep cuts or anything like that, so it's really wicked to find that one. Another title I can add into my ever-growing collection. Another title that I picked up, and I picked it up because it's a Tengen title, is RBI Baseball 3. These Tengen cards, you have to flip them over. Yeah, so there's that one right there. Again, it's in really good shape. The contacts are in decent shape and things like that. And it's a Tengen card, so I figured I would pick this one up as well. The next thing that I picked up was a boxed copy of Jeopardy 25th Anniversary Edition. I just saw it sitting there, and I didn't want to, the box to sit there and get destroyed or something like that, because it was sort of just sitting in a pile. So I sort of basically rescued it from there, and I've already put it in a clear case and stuff like that, so I'm not going to open it up, but I did open this up, and everything's in there, including the styrofoam, the manual, the game, the sleeve, all that kind of stuff. And the game itself is actually mint, like it looks like it never even was played, so that's pretty good. The box, on the other hand, has some damage to it. Like there's a little bit of staining right here, and a little bit of staining at the top up here, and the edges and stuff are kind of beat, but there's no major rips or anything like that in it, so it's not too bad. It'll end up going back here where my other box games are, and they're all in these kind of protective cases, so that's pretty cool right there. Picked up a game that I've been sort of eyeballing. I saw loose copies of it there before, and I just wasn't really that interested in loose copies of it. And normally he had the loose copies of this for $9.99, so I wasn't really going to jump on that $10 for a loose Genesis title. But this one was sitting there, didn't have a price on it, and I sort of threw it into the bundle. And it's Street Fighter 2 Championship Special Championship Edition. So unfortunately it's not complete, but I'll be able to outsource the manual or figure that out anyways. And the cartridge is in really decent shape. It's actually, the only thing is maybe a little bit of a ding right there, but that's about it. Otherwise it's pretty mint, which is way better than the loose copies that were sitting there. So another title, pretty happy to pick up. Like I said before, some of my Genesis types of things are harder to find around here for some reason. So pretty cool to be able to find a game with the case and the hang tab still attached and everything like that. But the thing that made this deal totally awesome is I don't know if I caught the guy slipping or something like that, but this next game unfortunately is not boxed, but it's another Genesis title which I'm really happy to add in my collection, and it's Truxton. And this game here usually goes like loose, probably $15 to $20. So I was pretty happy to add that one in. That's why originally I thought, he'd probably recognize this as being a $20 game and kind of go, okay, well, if this is a $20 game and the rest of that stuff. I thought he was going to say like, 40 or 50 or something like that. He came back with 30, and I was more than happy because this one here is probably worth about 20 on its own. So that's pretty cool. Only thing with it is it needs to be cleaned up right here. There's like a little bit of something on there. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that off there, but again, for that pretty wicked deal. Yeah, so that was my $30 deal there. 6 games, so basically like $5 each. Pretty good all around, I think. Thanks again for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video if you feel so inclined. And thanks again for watching, and I will see you all later.